I'm sure I don't have anything, but I'm just curious on my neck. On my neck.
Oh, you do.
I don't know.
Yeah, you
You
do.
do.
You do.
Like, I'm feeling
Scratch.
burning.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Yep.
feel it
Greg,
all.
he got scratched. He's burning.
Yeah, I'm burning it.
No
There?
way.
I'm Naomi Jacobson, and I'm with Tri-State Ghost Hunters, and I work here at Mansfield Reformatory.
What experiences have you had here?
I've had quite a few. The most recent one I had was over here. We were standing in a line like this. There was a shadow on the wall, but there was 3 of us, so I thought it was my friend on the end. She was also a teammate. And there was like a little light reflecting behind us. We were standing here. It was her shadow, me, and then 2 other people. And we were just standing there talking, looking for the shadows to come in and out of the cells that we always see. And all of a sudden, this tall, dark shadow got bigger, and then it just started walking this way along the wall. And I thought it was my friend. I thought she moved. And I looked, and she's so still. Their faces were dropped. Like, it was crazy. But it was standing in line with us, just like right here in line. And then just took off walking down. And then at the same time, we were hearing cells opening and shutting down here.
Wow.
So...
And you're good.
All right, my name is Greg Faketic. I am the lead investigator here at the Ohio State Reformatory. The Ohio State Reformatory was completed in 1896, which included the administration building and the west cell block. The east cell block was completed in 1910. Back then, this was actually a reformatory. It wasn't technically a prison as we know today. There were inmates here, but they only spent 8 hours a day in their cells, and that was just basically for sleeping. The other 16 hours were spent going to church, learning a trade, going to school. But that started changing. As the years progressed, it slowly started turning into a maximum security prison. And by the early 1970s, it was a full-blown maximum security prison where inmates spent 23 hours a day in their cells. At the time, the inmates decided that this was cruel and inhuman punishment, so they filed a lawsuit with the state. Eventually, the inmates won. A new prison was built for them, and the last inmates left December 31st, 1990. The location that we are sitting in right now, call this the 3rd floor East Admin. At one time, this was an area for guests, VIPs, dignitaries. They would actually spend the night here. Back in the early 1900s, when dignitaries would come and visit the prison, they used to have to come by horseback or a horse and buggy, so it took them a while to get here. So instead of going home at night, they used to just spend the night here. This place that we're in right now, I would consider, and a lot of the other volunteers would consider, one of the most active places inside the prison, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because this was a living area for, staff members and dignitaries. There were inmates here, but, they were mostly trustees. So why is this area so active? I've had several experiences here. I've been investigating the prison since 2004. I rarely ever see anything, but last year, sitting up here, almost sitting in the same location I'm sitting now, I saw a black shadow figure kind of coming up the stairs into this area, made a right-hand turn, walked down the hall, which, you know, when I first saw it, it was like, whoa, did I just see that? Because I usually don't see things. Just a couple minutes after that, I heard growling coming from the middle of the room. Other volunteers have heard growling coming from this third floor, and not just the area that we're in, but throughout the whole third floor. It sounded like it came from right in the middle of the room. Then right after that, I heard church bells. Now, you can't make this stuff up. It was like, okay, what the heck was that? Growling, shadow, church bells. Just last month, me and another investigator were sitting up here, almost in the same location. It was very quiet. It was just the two of us. And all of a sudden, we heard this loud crash. At the time, it almost sounded like light bulbs falling on the ground and smashing. We jumped, said a couple choice words, and then we got up and investigated this whole area. We could not find anything that had fallen that would have caused that noise. The first time I investigated the Ohio State Reformatory was in 2004. Over on the west admin, third floor, there were 4 of us. My wife went into this one bathroom, and she's sensitive. She came out and said, ooh, I don't like it in there. So naturally, I'm like, well, we're going in. So we all went in, we shut the door, and it was so dark you could not see your hand in front of your face. Now what happened next wasn't frightening. We were just in awe. As we're sitting there in the darkness, this light show appeared on the ceiling. It was just swirling colors of light, just swirling all over the ceiling. And I'm like, do you guys see that? And everybody's like, yeah. And we watched it for maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and it slowly dissipated, which, we were just left awestruck.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. It sounded like movement.
Yeah, there was like a squeak, like.
And it came from one of those rooms over there.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I've got the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, up in this area, sometimes I come up here and I'm okay, I don't get feelings. Other times I come up here and it's just like the hair standing up. You get that electrical charged feeling.
Exactly. I feel like it's just got colder too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to comment on that before that even happened, that I felt just like
right. Yeah.
a lot colder all of a sudden.
Yeah, I feel coldness all around me now.
And there's no one up in this area.
No. There's only 2 ways to get up here, and they're behind us, and I'm looking at both of them, and nobody's up here.
Wow.
He said, "This is the most active area."
Hi, my name is Lindsay Cecil. I am a tour guide here at the Ohio State Reformatory. I also help out with our paranormal programs. Right now we're in the I just messed it up. Right now we are in the East Cell Block. This is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records. This is the largest freestanding steel cell structure in the world. Meaning if we brought a crane in here, picked up the cell block and set it outside in the parking lot, it would still be freestanding just as it is. Something built very similar is the Eiffel Tower in France. The East Cell Block was actually known to the inmates as the Motel 6. The other side, that was the Hilton. You really wanted to end up over at the Hilton because the cells were a bit larger. It was also made of brick, and there was a little bit more privacy over there. Here on the East Cell Block is where you got thrown when you first came here. It was the worst of the worst. They said while we were trying to sleep over there, you could hear a pin drop, and over here, guys could be screaming until whatever time in the morning. It was just really nasty to be on this side of the prison. Over the years, also, many of the different rooms, they would change depending on who was the warden. The room right over here behind us is the library. That's what it was last, but it also used to be the hospital. You can imagine that there would have been all sorts of beds lined up through there. And actually, if they knew that you were coming close to passing away, they actually had a tiny room which has been nicknamed the death room right off of it, and they would take you in there. There would just be a bed and a window there so you could pass without all the inmates staring you down, and you could just have a little bit of peace in your final days. The violence, there's varying reports because at the time they didn't keep records of everything. You could get reprimanded around here not only for fighting, you could get reprimanded for looking at a guard funny. Maybe you had your collar popped. It could get you time in the hole, which was solitary confinement. And actually, how they discipline inmates, that really evolved over the years. When it first started out, there was a hot box down in the basement, which was a big steel box that was close to the boilers. They would throw you in there. We don't know for how long. We don't know how many at a time. This was a story passed down from guard to guard to guard. But why would they throw you in a hot box? Because think about how you feel on a hot summer day. It would take the fight out of you. It would almost make you lethargic. And that's also the same reason why later, when we got to our solitary cells, that they would usually keep it a cool 90-some degrees in there to take the fight out of you. It would be bread and broth. For the first few days, you would get a meal on the last day. Your meal consisted of loaf, which was anything that was left in the kitchen, all mixed up together in a blender and then baked into a loaf of bread. And some of the guys said that they'd rather go hungry than eat loaf.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Gross.
it was pretty disgusting.
How about your experiences here,
Sure.
paranormal wise?
Oh gosh. I've actually had quite a few things happen to me here. What actually kind of compelled me to start volunteering here, I came here actually originally for Halloween with some family. They wanted to come see the Halloween attraction, and I just thought the building was amazing. So I came back here for tours, and on one of my first day tours here, the day tour, bright and early during the day, we were walking through solitary, and I saw what almost looked like an outline of a guy leaning up against a cell and looking at me, and I just thought, okay, just turn away, just don't look at him, and nothing will happen. Well, then I felt a presence behind me and felt a hand coming around my wrist, and I can still to this day tell you that right here is where I feel that thumbprint. It's like it never goes away. And we kind of have a saying around here that the building chooses you, you don't choose the building, and I feel like between that and just feeling compelled to come back here, that the building kind of chose me to come here as a volunteer.
Another. Now, when I'm sitting over here, like where we are now, and it's completely dark, you can see in and out of these cells, you can see a man or whoever peeking in and out of the cells just looking at you. And when we close up at night, or just like now, you hear the cell doors just shut, move by themselves. My oldest daughter and I were here, like just a couple weeks ago. It was her first time here. And we heard the loudest bang I've ever heard. It scared me. And it sounded like somebody hit the metal of the door with a pull, and it was like chain rattling. So I looked to see if it was anybody there, and there was nobody there. We just came from there, but I still checked. And then so I said, if it's you, could you do it again? And it did it again, and it was so loud, but nobody heard it but her and I, and there was 2 other people with us. So that one scared me. That one was loud.
What do you think is the freakiest thing that's happened to you here?
Getting touched. I get touched a lot here. My hair gets played with and moved a little bit, but that's fine. I'm used to that. But when I was in solitary one time, up on the 2nd floor, I was getting touched a lot, and it was not a good touch. It was like really uncomfortable, and that scared me. I didn't even want to go back in there. I don't even like that area anymore. I still have to go in there, but that really scared me. I could just feel the hands touching me.
That's f***ed up.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Also, up until 1960, the warden, the assistant warden, and the chaplain and their families all lived here on site. And I often get people asking, why would you want to raise your family on the site of an active prison? Well, the last family that lived here, the last warden and his family that lived here was Arthur Gladkey and his wife Helen, and they had 2 little boys. Those 2 little boys have stayed in contact with us over the years, and they said best years of their life living here. They had the front pond to swim, fish, and ice skate. They They even had a BB gun shooting range downstairs in the basement. But sadly, life actually didn't end up very good for the Gladkeys. In 1950, I believe it was, Helen, the warden's wife, she was in her room getting ready for church or mass, and she was reaching up into the closet for a box. I believe it was a jewelry box or a hat box, but she did not know her husband's loaded service revolver was up there. It fell, hit the floor, discharged, and shot her through the lung. The boys were getting ready in the room across from her, and they came in and they found her. They were able to get her to the hospital, where she coherently told them what happened. There are a lot of rumors going around that the ghosts got her or the warden killed his wife, but that just was not the case. She was coherent and she was able to tell them exactly that it was a freak accident. But she sadly died 3 days later from complications due to pneumonia. Now, in 1960, the boys were about high school-ish age, and they came home from school one day and they did find their father slumped over at his desk. He had a massive heart attack. Again, they were able to get him to the hospital, but he sadly passed away shortly thereafter. But lots of strange things happen, and it's not all just during the nighttime. Daytime, actually, I get a lot of stuff happening. I was here for day tours one day, and I was taking one of the side stairwells, and all of a sudden I smelled smoke. And the first thing I thought was, oh, wonderful, I'm gonna have to find whoever's doing this. They're not supposed to be smoking in the building. I'm gonna have to tell them that they're gonna have to walk outside. But I stopped and I smelled a little bit more and realized it wasn't cigarette smoke. And I consulted one of the other volunteers when I got to the ground floor, and they said, oh, wait, was that cherry pipe tobacco? And I said, yeah, that's exactly it. I was like, it's so weird, it kind of came and went. And they said, that was Art Gladkey's favorite for smoking in his pipe. And about a month later, I was walking the opposite stairwell, and again, it came all of a sudden. It just smelled like there was smoke everywhere, and then it was gone. It was that same cherry pipe tobacco, and I just said, hi, Art, because Arthur Gladkey, also known as Art, must have been walking by.
Back in, I think it was about 1993, the movie Shawshank Redemption was filmed inside the Ohio State Reformatory. A lot of the scenes from the movie were filmed here. The warden's office was filmed here. The parole board room was filmed here. The dining hall was filmed here. A lot of the scenes outside were filmed in the back of the prison. But soon after the film wrapped up, they started tearing those buildings down, so those are no longer standing. But a lot of the movie was filmed here. Even the Brewer Hotel, where Brooks spent, was filmed here. The only part of the movie, the main part of the movie that was not filmed here were the cell block scenes. Inside the Ohio State Reformatory, the cells face outward toward the exterior walls. In the movie, the cells face inward. And it's just that the director wanted it that way because it would just make for a bit better scene filming both sides of the cell block. Now, there were over 200 deaths here that occurred in the prison, but there were no executions. But there were accidental deaths, there were murders, and there were suicides. Back in 1960, inmate by the name of James Lockhart was on the east cell block, cell number 13 on the north side. His parole was denied. He became despondent, took some flammable fluid from one of the shops, went into a cell, shut the door, and set himself on fire. A couple murders here. Back in 1932, there was a guard by the name of Frank Hanger who was murdered in the area of the solitary by several inmates who bludgeoned him to death during an escape attempt. There were murders that occurred in the barber shop. One inmate slashed another inmate's throat. Another murder that we know about occurred in 1957. There was a riot in the east cell block, and they had to put a bunch of the inmates into solitary. Now, there were so many that were involved that sometimes they had to put 2 to 3 in a cell. Well, 2 inmates were in this one cell and they did not like each other, and when they were released, only one came out. They found the other inmate's body stuffed underneath the bunk. I mean, I've been touched. I've had the keys pulled from me as I was walking, closing up at the end of a ghost hunt. But I would have to say the West Attic. The West Attic is one of the most crazy places. In fact, we have volunteers who will bring in lawn chairs, and they will bring their lawn chairs toward the back of the West Attic and sit there and wait for the stuff to happen. There's no windows. It's pitch dark in there. You can't see your hand in front of your face. You know, there's people that go up there that they'll see balls of light dancing around the chapel. I've known a lot of people who have seen bright balls of light and little balls of light just dancing around. I'm up there, there was my wife, a couple other volunteers, plus some guests. I think there were about 9 of us. And they were all seeing these balls of light. I couldn't see them. I'm like, I don't see these lights. They're like, they're right there. Here comes another one. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. There's no lights there. I cannot see anything. So I put a REM pod on a section of ductwork that was up there. I'm saying, if you guys see a ball of light, please let me know. So they're like, here comes one now. I'm like, I don't see it. You guys are freaking crazy. I don't see a ball of light. And they're like, here comes one down the left-hand side. And I'm looking. I'm like a lot closer, and I can't see it. Well, this next ball of light made sure that I saw it. And we all saw it, and the best way that we can describe it, and we all described it the same way, it was like a lightning bolt or a shooting star. Struck my proximity sensor, and it exploded in this golden flash of light. And immediately I was overwhelmed with this ice coldness. Now this occurred in the summer, but immediately it turned ice cold. And after that happened, I went back to where there were living people.
You want to go see the death room?
Sure. By the way, this is what the interior of the hospital would have looked like right here. So you can imagine all of these beds lined through here. But the last thing it was used for was a library. Now in here would have been the death room. Some of these doorways are larger than others, that's so that they could fit a gurney through them. Right in here. You can tell it's been popular in here because there's a chair. Ghost hunters love to come in here. This would have been the death room. So if you can imagine, there would have been a bed here, maybe a table side. Either I let that slam too hard or someone's having a little bit of fun with us. And then of course you have a window, get a little bit of sunshine and air as you left this world. But at least you could be in here, have some privacy, not have anyone, ruining your final hours. We also do have a graveyard out back. It's not accessible to the public. It is still on state grounds and it's still being used. That graveyard was only used if your body was not picked up by a loved one. But if your body was not claimed and you died here in the system, they would bury you out back in a box that was made in the wood shop, a coffin. Your buddies would carry you out there. The chaplain would say a prayer. The warden would come along. They'd put you in the ground and bury you. And your tombstone would only say one thing, and that was your number. When you came in here, there was no dates, there was no name. You came here under your number, and that's what you died under.
It's the most active area. And I know, especially my wife has been down on the second floor below us. And, she's been like having an event where she's had a group of people down there and they've heard heavy footsteps walking up here. This is a lot of people's favorite areas. It's not the most creepiest, believe it or not.
What do you think is the creepiest?
Oh, central hallway up here on the 3rd floor. Just because of all the shadow people that are seen.
Where, up here?
Mm-hmm. 3rd floor.
Do you want to walk over?
Yeah.
And then we can finish this up. 605, that's my area code from South Dakota.
I know my wife doesn't like this room.
This is one of the only places where that noise could have come from.
And these were just guest bedrooms. I just got a really strong feeling in here. Yeah, and I've always wondered, why is this area so active? This area I don't like. This hallway right here.
Ooh.
I do not like. I do not like this room. This is the room where Saturday night we had one of our female guests scratched.
This room?
This room right here.
What's the history of the room?
Nobody knows.
What do you mean?
Nobody knows. It's the only room that doesn't have any windows. We think it was used for storage. But
there's no
watch your step.
no record of what happened here?
No. It's the only room that has no windows. And they say that if you move the chair to one area of the room, when you come back, it'll be moved back. People hear voices. The chair would start vibrating, moving with you on it. There were a group of 6 in here. The one woman, she was sitting on the chair and she felt something like slap her face. She started complaining about a burning sensation on her back. When they pulled down her jacket, there were 2, really big welts, the middle of her back. Wow. That were burning. And that happened right here in this room just this Saturday night.
3 days ago.
3 days ago. Wow. We've had volunteers walking past this room and have heard growling coming from the middle of the room.
And before we move, I want to come back here, but I'm going to test that out. I'm going to move the chair and put it over in the corner.
There's nobody going to be wandering around, do things like that.
So just for the record, the chair's over there in that corner.
This hallway right here, what investigators will do, they will sit on these benches. I've never seen any of the shadows, but
What was that?
did you hear something?
That was really loud. I just got a weird gust of cold. A weird gust of cold. A weird gust of cold on my hand. I don't know, I feel creeped out. It's like you said, I'm kind of like...
This area right here creeps me out, and I guess there's a lot of shadow figures, people, if you will, that are seen up and down here. There were a couple of investigators sitting on the bench. They saw a shadow standing over here looking at them. And as they're watching it, the shadow figure then got down on all fours and scurried down the hall.
What the hell? So why do you think that this is the creepy area? Is there anything that would...
It's just everything about it. The peeling paint, the intersection of the hallways, and the activity. The activity up here can be intense.
Seems to be more violent too. Like
it seems frightening up here.
Are you feeling that cold?
I feel a coldness coming down my left side here.
I'm like, I got goosebumps under my 2 layers all of a sudden.
Yeah, and it's not real cold up here. It's, we are in the chapel, the original chapel. There are people who have said they've seen a woman in green up here. But these are the most scariest things here.
Hold that, I'm gonna get a shot of that.
Sometimes when you come over, that's not paranormal.
The pigeons.
Yes. Now, you can feel the cold breeze coming through here. Yeah. We are up on above the 5th tier of the west cell block. It is ice cold. Watch your step here. We are a long ways up.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
This is the west attic.
So this is where everybody has seen the
balls of light. Oh yeah. If you want, we can take a walk down there with the lights on, or we can take a walk with the lights off.
Let's do lights off.
Let's go. People will say, well, why is an attic so haunted? Back in 1930, there was a major fire at the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus. They had to find new prisons for the other inmates. Some 300 of them were transported here, and they put them up here. This was almost like a big, giant college or military dorm room. In 1930, this was still a reformatory for nonviolent offenders. Now they're bringing all these violent offenders here, murderers, rapists, and this is where they held them. MA jail cells. I can't see any guards coming through here to patrol. It looks like they pretty much had the run of this place. That ductwork, you see those 2 ductworks down there? That's right at my equipment where I saw that lightning bolt. And this is where everybody else was standing. There's a whole bunch of graffiti on the walls.
It's just hard to believe that it's still here like that.
Yeah. Some of these you'll see 1932 and other, later dates. They even have showers back here.
Oh. That is so
Do you
cool.
want to head to now, or you want to head back down?
Energy though. Oh, Jesus.
See?
Oh my God.
See what I tell you?
That did get me.
See? You got that on video?
Yeah.
Good. There's also another room above us.
Oh, what is that?
It was the first hospital.
Oh, shit.
Not too many people will go up there and investigate.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you go up?
Oh yeah, you guys will be able to go up. Yeah.
Nice. So excited to start. This area definitely feels so different though.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah,
So we're just tearing down the podcast, and we just started to hear some noises, some banging coming from down there.
I'm not gonna find anything. There's never anything down here when I look. You said down here, right?
Well, the noise is gonna happen down
Tree branch?
Bony finger.
Did you say bony finger?
Oh, yeah.
Shit. That's hella creepy. Okay, everybody, so tonight we have a very, very special episode. There's only 4 of us here, and we are in the Ohio State Reformatory. This is, I've said it before, but one of the most haunted places in the U.S., and it's crazy in here. It's huge, it's ice cold, as it's been on every shoot that we've done on this trip. We've only had one building with heating, so we're kind of used to this weather, but we've done the podcast already. If you want to go listen to the podcast or watch it, you can go to those, or the channel that is going to be on the Paranormal Files official podcast. When we were doing the podcast, we were hearing in this cell. Hearing movement and banging and all these different sorts of noises that no one could explain while we were doing the podcast, and it kept interrupting us. So I highly recommend you go watch that podcast, because there was some activity and amazing stories and whatnot. But randomly, when I was over in a dark cell getting a B-roll shot, my light died just 10 minutes ago. So all we have tonight are flashlights. Like I said, we're the only 4 people in this entire prison complex. It's huge. We're going to start out here in one of the cell blocks, do a little bit of time in solitary confinement, and then head up to the administration area, which is the kind of vortex of the haunting where a lot of people have these negative experiences. So without further ado, I'm joined by, let me show the whole crew. No. Here's everybody who you've already met. You're kind of dark back there, Greg.
Step in the spotlight.
Yeah, a little bit, but and Jeff is always rocking the Paranormal Files merch.
There you go.
Hell yeah,
Oh, yeah,
baby.
look at that.
You bought it, Ark. I can't even talk. Too cold. Okay. Ready to move?
Yes, here. It's time to get spooky.
No, it wasn't. You never know.
No questions.
To anybody who's here in the Ohio State Reformatory, my name is Colin. Here with some people that you know, and my dad, Jeff. I just want to let you guys know that we want to talk to you. We're not afraid of you. We respect you. So if you could do something for us and let us know that you're here by maybe opening your cell door for us.
I heard it too.
Oh, there it is. Shuffling. It's behind us. It's behind us. It's just dark.
Could you do that again for us if that was you? We heard you.
I just see the white mist come out of that cell. Which one? Under that first exit sign. I've never seen that in here.
Can you see it?
Right where the light is where I seen it.
Could you make a noise for us if you're in here?
Listen. That was down the bush. Listen. That was down the bush.
any other cell block.
Okay.
I hear water.
That's what we saw. Some shadows and a light.
Are you over here in this cell block?
If there's anybody here, can you come up to this meter and make it go off?
Hello? Could you knock on something for us?
Hey guys, can you do something for us, please? Just make the loudest noise you can think of.
I'm gonna go out here for a minute. I keep hearing some.
Yeah, stay in the bullpen.
Okay, if you want to catch something, I would bring that camera in here. This thing is rolling by itself.
What is?
That's what the noise was. The door? No, this thing. It was just moving. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
There's no wind.
It should feel how heavy that is. That's heavy. Feel that. There's no way.
There's no breeze coming from there.
Why don't you ask me that?
Can you do something for us? If you don't do something for us, we're going to go to another area. That was loud.
Okay, we're gonna head into the solitary confinement area. This is a place I think is one of the creepiest in the whole building.
What a rush of air. What is that?
This is solitaire. You ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
This is very creepy.
That was me.
Oh,
Two of them.
oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, I can kind of sense something next to me, you know?
Uh-huh. Don't do that to me right now.
I'm gonna go to the second floor. Let's go to the second floor.
Gosh. Different smell up here.
Yeah, rusty. If there's anybody here in solitary confinement with us, are you angry?
Do you have the spirit box?
We do.
If you're here in solitary confinement over here, you can use your voice and talk to me. If there's someone here with us, can you say yes? Can you tell us your name?
Could have been like the first and last one.
Why were you sent here? I don't think we're gonna get anything. I said a really weird thing though. I thought I saw like a black thing.
You did. I seen it. Was it at the end? Like a
Yeah,
mist?
yes. It was a mist. It
I
swirled
see it.
around.
I just put my head down and act like I didn't see it.
That's what I was about to say. If that's you down there, come on over. Walk over to us.
Can you come down here with us? Just to say hi? Alright, we're gonna go to another area then. I'm leaving and I probably won't come back up here.
I know it can't get any colder, but it seems like that there was a cold air that kind of came in.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold, like right here.
Like, you mean like extra cold by you?
Yeah, like out here. Oh, it's quiet.
though it's really creepy in this area, it doesn't feel like anything's gonna happen. You know, you can kind of feel that. To me, it feels kind of dead right now. So we've got a couple other spots that we want to go hit. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, there's something different here.
It is different, isn't it?
Well, why don't you go down and check?
Well, it looks good with the light. It's a cool shot. Look at that.
You see, it looks all creepy, but I don't
Ready?
feel like there's.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Swinging warning sign. Isn't it definitely warmer here, huh?
Yes, it is.
It will be really warm when we go through the door.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
These ones over here.
Oh,
You want me to?
up
Yes.
here. Okay. Cold.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That scream?
Whoa.
No?
I didn't hear anything. I wasn't paying
Maybe
attention.
it was just me then.
So this is the creepy hallway.
Colin?
Did you hear that, Greg?
What was it?
It was like a.
What do you say we sit for a second? Do you want to film? Oh, jeez, dude. Oh my god.
What the hell?
What?
That was scary.
What?
I swear in everything. I swear I just heard kids laughing.
Kids laughing.
It's like a shuffling of papers or something.
Are you here on the 3rd floor? What? What?
What, just one of you by yourself go sit in that hall and see if you get anything.
Jeff, where? I can't see.
Hey, was that you touching Naomi? Can you do the same thing to Jeff?
Can you tickle Jeff's leg?
Come over and tickle my leg or grab my hand. I've got my hand held out here.
Show us how strong you are by it.
Pulling my.
I'd love to see as you tickle Jeff's leg.
How about pulling on my coat? Kind of dizzy.
Who's out here?
What was that?
That was
I
cute.
don't know why she did that.
That's kind of ominous. Who's out there?
Who indeed?
Who's out here?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Is this open right here?
Let's go try over here in this where we did the interview.
It's really disorienting up here.
Hello?
Yeah. Big bang.
Are you there?
Can you say something so that we can hear you, please?
Please? Hello?
All right, we're gonna go somewhere else then.
Let's do that.
Naomi, I need you to do one thing for me.
I feel it's been a long night, but it seems kind of like doesn't it seem like really quiet? Like people are just kind of subdued and
It's either loud or quiet.
yeah. I mean, I don't really like feel up here. I don't really feel creepy. To me, do you? Or,
That hallway, definitely.
oh, down there.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
creepy.
this room.
This is just
This
where we
room.
heard the loud
Yeah.
bang earlier.
Oh, gee.
What? What?
Are you okay?
Yeah, no. Man, it sounded like a mine, like a boom came out of here. What is that room?
It used to be the elevator.
Yeah, that was the elevator shaft.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
I was gonna say elevator.
We've heard that in there before, but not often.
That is exactly what it sounded like.
So,
Greg. You. Oh, yeah.
Yikes. God, better ask some questions. Oof. What do you think, Colin?
Very cold. Is there anybody in here? Okay, guys, so we didn't get as much time to investigate as I would have liked to have here because the podcast is something we've been setting up this whole time. So sometimes our timetable gets off. We got here a little bit late. The drone got broken. Had to set all of our stuff up, so we got delayed, but we want to come back. We've heard so many different footsteps and bangs tonight, even just a few minutes ago hearing those really loud bangs that like kind of shook the building. But at the end of the day, we've had a really good night here and we've had some great company thanks to these guys over here. And can you see that?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Yeah. Lurking in the shadows.
It's so dark here.
It is.
Can't
It's
even
just
see
pit.
where either of them are.
Pitch black.
So, at the end of the night, it's Jeff and I here in Mansfield, Ohio. We've got our last major location of the trip tomorrow, but we're gonna call it a night because we're freezing cold. It's almost 3 a.m. and we're exhausted. So, it's Colin here. Thank y'all for watching so much. We love you, and stay spooky. Just keep rolling. We'll walk out just in case. Oh, God. Oh. Shit, what was that? A pigeon?
That scared me.
Oh, Jesus. What's that one?
It's not a bat. Is it a bat? No bat?
No, it's not a bag, it's a pigeon.
Okay.
we're gonna go all the way down to the third tier.
I wonder how many people have been pushed.
We wouldn't have been clothes. Can you feel how warm it is?
I'm sure I don't have anything, but I'm just curious on my neck.
Where?
Just to see. I don't, on my neck.
Oh, you do.
I don't know.
Yeah, you
You
do.
do.
You do.
Like I'm feeling
Scratch.
burning?
Yes.
You got a
Yes.
scratch.
Wait, don't touch it. Don't
Okay,
touch it.
Okay.
Did you touch yourself?
No, I'm feeling a burning actually down
Okay.
my back.
No
There,
way.
Yeah,
there,
let me
and
take a picture.
there, and on my, if you pull my shirt, my back down.
I can turn the lights on, but I want to take a picture.
Is it really like
It's
Yes, and it's-
really deep.
And it's getting,
Really?
we're watching it grow.
Oh my
actually.
God.
You had to scratch.
No.
Because it wouldn't be burning.
No, I'm
There's
honestly.
there's no dry skin.
No, it's just, it's strictly burning. It's burning.
Yeah, and we're actually watching it grow more.
How about if you pull down my the top?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
now, but.
Like, is it,
Oh, it's
Yep,
more
yep.
scratches.
oh, I can feel it
Greg,
all.
he got scratched. He's burning.
Yeah, I'm burning it. It's burning.
But I don't move.
Right when I was walking down in
Can you
those,
turn that light back on?
Yeah, I'm gonna
in
grab my
those,
phone like 'cause it's making it audio.
coming down the stairs, and I think it's
Distortion.
farther down my back, guys.
It might be, but it's because we're watching it like grow.
You know, I think it's
It turned in from 1 scratch to 3.
it's down into my shoulder.
See?
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's going longer.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah,
got,
you got a bunch of
I
them.
got
Really?
some good pictures. Holy
Man.
shit! Look, you see it getting more?
Yeah, I can
As
feel
we're
it.
Greg,
looking
can you
at it.
kill that light? 'Cause it's
Yeah,
I
there you
can't
go.
see it on my
Can you
camera.
pull my down
Yeah.
any further? Or
Yeah.
I have no idea if you can get any more.
Yeah.
Down
Oh my gosh.
like down there.
It's getting. Here, move your hand. I'll try to get another
Where
picture.
did you get this at?
Just now, right?
It's just now, coming down the stairs.
I don't see any more back there. It's
Yeah.
more
It's
so on your
it's
neck.
Right here.
Yeah. No, it probably feels
Right
like
here.
it, but it's up
no,
there.
it feels here.
I know.
But it's
I-
burning.
you're-
There.
Well, there's
You
nothing.
might feel it where it's not.
Yeah, there's-
because it's up here.
But
yeah.
no, there's a definite.
It's
Let me
almost like
let me
you
get
have-
a fully developed close up.
This way?
Yeah.
Because I might not send mine.
No. I just want to get like a really.
Yeah, it still
There you go, right
it still
there.
is burning. It's still,
Yeah,
it's
right
burning.
there, right there.
Still
It'll
burns.
still burn for a few, but it'll go away. Oh, you don't remember when you first started feeling it?
No, but it was
Okay.
it was coming down the stairs, one of the stairs.
Oh,
levels.
one of the. Okay.
Yeah, just in the stair. Like when I think, you know what?
Yeah.
I think when I actually wondered out loud, like how many people may have been pushed down the stairs.
Oh my God! When you asked,
That's
when you
when
said that to me,
That's
I
I
was-
think when I started to feel something, and then when I got down to the bottom,
Do you
I
think
thought,
you, do you think you said that because you felt it, or you got that because you said it?
no, I think I got it because I said it.
Okay.
Would that have been the last flight?
Yeah.
No,
It was this one
is
right here.
third.
No, but I mean,
Well, yeah, it was
when I
this
said
one.
that, wasn't
Yeah,
that the last
yes,
time?
it was the last
So it
flight.
would have been this
Yes.
floor. Yeah, that's when it happened.
You always get these weird things that happen to you.
Okay. Yeah, that was
That's two investigations in
In
a
1
row
week,
that
yeah.
ended
Yeah.
that way.
it's still kind of, you know.
Burning.
Yeah.
That's how I knew it was scratched. As soon as you said burning, I knew it was a
Yeah.
scratch.
Yeah, very disoriented up there. I know it's late too. I'm tired. Okay.
Think about it, like you said maybe 15 minutes before that happened. Oh, this is the time when this happens.
that.
Right, that's right. About the same time, too.
Yeah,
Almost.
that's what I mean.
Different locations.
Is it gone? Is it gone? You want to look?
It might save for a while.
It's fading pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, it's so weird because people online should know. You can see there's no white skin on the side, like dry
still
skin,
burning.
like if you would have scratched
no,
yourself.
No, I didn't do that.
I want to just point that out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you feel?
It's kind of mixed emotion, like being like don't feel well, I'm really overtired, it's cold, but I just feel like, a little disoriented, but I think it's like, why'd I get scratched? I mean, why? You know, what is the reason for that? I don't know. I would like to be still burning that area. It's weird because, like, it's definitely. Is that what you felt when you got scratched? Like
Burning.
a burn? It's just a burn. That's what it is. It's all I could explain to people on camera. It's like it's a burning sensation.
Let me see that again. Yeah, it's fading really
Is it?
fast.
Is it?
Yeah, it's gonna be gone like so quickly. That's trippy.